The concept of the intersection of myth and science represents the fascinating convergence where ancient stories and modern rationality meet, illustrating how mythological frameworks can influence contemporary scientific thought. This intersection is more than just a meeting point. It's a dynamic interplay where ancient narratives continue to inspire scientific inquiry and innovation. The significance of this relationship to Echoes of Apollo, how Greek mythology shapes modern science, lies in its ability to demonstrate how timeless mythological themes, particularly those from Greek mythology, underpin and enrich scientific exploration, serving as a bridge between human curiosity and technological advancement. One prominent example is the Apollo space missions. Named after the Greek god of the sun, Apollo represents light, knowledge, and exploration. The Apollo missions weren't just an engineering feat, they embodied humanity's age-old quest to reach for the heavens, a narrative deeply rooted in mythology. Similarly, the concept of chaos in Greek mythology has found its way into science through chaos theory, which explores complex systems and unpredictable patterns in nature. Chaos, once a mythological representation of the void before creation, now drives critical scientific studies about the behavior of dynamic systems. Experts in cultural studies and science history often support the view that myth and science share a symbiotic relationship. They argue that myths provide a narrative framework that can inspire scientific curiosity and innovation by offering symbolic stories that resonate with fundamental human concerns and aspirations. This perspective suggests that mythological archetypes continue to offer valuable insights and guidance, even in highly technical fields. However, the intersection of myth and science is not without its challenges. Some critics argue that relying too heavily on mythological narratives can lead to misunderstandings or simplistic interpretations of complex scientific phenomena. Additionally, there is a risk of romanticizing ancient myths, leading to a potential undervaluation of empirical evidence and scientific rigor. Ultimately, this intersection influences many aspects of how science is perceived and pursued in modern times. It connects with educational efforts, filmmaking, and even branding, as companies often use mythological references to communicate innovation and vision. Thus, understanding the intersection of myth and science enriches our appreciation of how Greek mythology continues to shape modern scientific endeavors, encouraging a dialogue between the empirical and the imaginary, the rational and the mythical. Ancient Greek mythology, with its pantheon of gods, legendary heroes, and captivating tales, forms a foundational bedrock for scientific inquiry by blending mythic narratives with early attempts to explain the natural world. This intersection is not merely historical, but continues to shape modern science through symbolic influences and philosophical frameworks. By offering allegorical insights into nature's mysteries, Greek mythology has paved the way for curiosity-driven exploration and methodical investigation. The significance of this topic within Echoes of Apollo, how Greek mythology shapes modern science, lies in understanding that the mythological ethos of ancient Greece inspired early natural philosophers who later evolved into the first scientists. Figures like Aristotle and Pythagoras, often linked to mythological traditions, utilize stories rich in allegory and symbolism to rationalize phenomena, promoting systematic observation and inquiry that underpin scientific methods today. A compelling example is the story of Icarus, which illustrates humanity's eternal yearning to conquer the skies, ultimately informing aviation and aerospace technologies. The myth encapsulates both the potential and peril of human innovation, underscoring foundational principles in discipline and design. Another example is the myth of Prometheus, who defied the gods to bring fire, symbolic of knowledge and technology, to humanity. This myth encapsulates the spirit of scientific progress and the ethical considerations it invokes, resonating in modern debates on technological impact and responsibility. Supportive opinions argue that myths, while fictional, foster imaginative thinking, which is essential to hypothesis generation and creative problem-solving in scientific endeavors. Critics, however, might contend that reliance on myth constrains empirical methods, perpetuating pseudoscientific beliefs incompatible with rigorous scientific standards. There exists a delicate balance between symbolic inspiration and empirical rigor, one that modern science continuously negotiates. Challenges arise when mythological appeal eclipses scientific evidence, leading to misconceptions that deviate from proven scientific facts. Nevertheless, alternative viewpoints posit that myths serve as valuable cultural artifacts, enriching the humanistic aspects of scientific education by embedding moral and ethical narratives into scientific discourse. Ultimately, the influence of ancient Greek mythology as a foundation for scientific inquiry is intricately woven into the broader tapestry of scientific development. It connects to other aspects of the main topic by highlighting the enduring legacy of myth in shaping the character and trajectory of modern scientific exploration. The echoes of Apollo and other mythic figures reverberate through history, reminding us of the symbiotic relationship between myth and science as we continue to navigate the unknown. The concept introduced by the heading Mythological Influence on Scientific Nomenclature delves into how ancient Greek mythology has permeated the language of modern science, particularly through the naming of celestial bodies, scientific phenomena, and various elements. This influence stems from the reverence and fascination that ancient Greek culture, characterized by its rich tapestry of gods, heroes, and myths, continues to inspire within the scientific community. As science seeks to explore uncharted territories, the terminology often pays homage to these mythological roots, providing a bridge between ancient narratives and contemporary discovery. The significance of mythological influence on scientific nomenclature in shaping our scientific worldview cannot be overstated. It paints science not just as a quest for empirical knowledge, but as a continuum of human curiosity and imagination that spans thousands of years. This connection underscores the timeless nature of Greek mythology and how its archetypes and stories still resonate within the scientific domain, offering memorable and symbolically rich names that carry historical weight. One notable example of this is the naming of planets in our solar system. The planet Mars, identified with the Greek god Ares, reflects the fiery red warrior aspect associated with the deity, while the planet Neptune, named after the Roman equivalent of the Greek god Poseidon, captures the deep blue, oceanic nature of the planet. Additionally, the term heliocentric, derived from Helios, the Greek sun god, underscores the sun-centered model of our solar system. This phenomenon is not without its challenges or controversies. Some argue that relying heavily on mythological names can obscure the scientific nature of discoveries, potentially leading to misconceptions about their empirical foundations. Others suggest that this tradition perpetuates Eurocentrism and overlooks mythologies from other cultures that could enrich scientific nomenclature. However, proponents of this practice maintain that the use of Greek mythology provides a universally recognized and historically significant framework that fosters continuity and a deeper appreciation of the interconnectedness of human knowledge. In conclusion, mythological influence on scientific nomenclature is a vibrant illustration of how the echoes of Apollo, crafted from ancient Greek stories, continue to shape and enrich modern science. It serves as a testament to the enduring power of mythology to inspire and provide context, which not only informs scientific inquiry, but also binds it to the broader human narrative. Through this practice, science is seen not merely as a rigid collection of facts, but as a dynamic and culturally enriched domain that is perpetually intertwined with the stories that have defined our intellectual heritage. In exploring Greek deities and celestial phenomena, we delve into the fascinating intersection of mythology and modern science, illustrating how ancient stories have permeated our understanding of the cosmos. Greek mythology often attributed celestial phenomena to the whims of gods and goddesses, embodying natural events with divine influence. This anthropomorphism provided early frameworks for contemplating the mysteries of the universe, a practice that, surprisingly, lingers in scientific nomenclature today. The significance of Greek deities in celestial phenomena is profound as it underscores a lasting cultural and intellectual legacy. By naming planets, constellations, and astronomical phenomena after these ancient gods, we bridge the gap between myth and science, blending narrative with knowledge. This fusion not only enriches scientific discourse, but also enlivens our cultural heritage, reminding us of our eternal quest to understand the cosmos. Take, for example, the planet Venus, named after the Roman equivalent of the Greek goddess Aphrodite. Often visible as the brightest object in our sky after the sun and moon, Venus's seductive brilliance parallels Aphrodite's mythological allure, perpetuating the goddess's cultural resonance. Similarly, the constellation Orion is linked to the myth of Orion the Hunter, symbolizing strength and adventure across the night sky. These celestial namesakes serve not only as navigational beacons but also as cultural markers, reflecting humanity's enduring fascination with the night sky. However, aligning celestial objects with mythological deities is not without its challenges. Some may argue that such nomenclature can obscure scientific understanding by embedding potentially misleading narratives. Additionally, reliance on Greek mythology risks overlooking other cultures' rich astronomical traditions, which could provide alternative perspectives or insights. Nonetheless, this mythological naming convention showcases how ancient narratives can inspire scientific curiosity. By immersing ourselves in stories of gods and heroes, we are encouraged to look at the stars with wonder, mirroring the curiosity that drives scientific discovery. This connection enriches other facets of the main topic, such as the human penchant for storytelling, the scientific drive for exploration, and the cultural significance of shared myths. Ultimately, Greek deities and celestial phenomena reveals a beautiful tapestry where myth and science coexist, fostering a deeper appreciation for both our cultural past and scientific progress. Through this lens, we grasp how echoes of Apollo continue to shape modern science, guiding us ever forward in our celestial voyage.